Hello, everybody. The Worm is back with some more Raging Loop. And last time was quite something, wasn't it? It was our first real introduction to some actual horror in this horror game. And I was just having some thoughts about it since last time I played. And I have a question. That whole series of events that we had, it sort of began where the day was ending. Then Haruaki went to the cliff with the pine tree. And, saw the girl, saw a tutorial lady. And then the mist came. And then there was the weird sort of way the text started to appear. And then there was a whole sequence where, we left, ran into Chami, locked ourselves in an outhouse. And finally Haruaki made the decision to leave and spotted the werewolf. I'm assuming it's a werewolf. But it's funny to me thinking back on it. I actually found the whole sequence with at the cliff where the text started to go all strange, and then even the time with the mist and trying to find a place to hide, I found that all eerie and creepy. That was good. But the moment that we had the CG with the werewolf, it was kind of strange. I didn't feel as creeped out, or I didn't feel it was as eerie to see the werewolf. It was more the scenes before it that I found creepy. And I'm not sure. Well, I guess sort of just the wolf. It was kind of on the title screen. Chami mentioned there are wolves in the area, and we had the old man who cried wolf. The wolf's kind of been expected, I guess. So I guess it wasn't a surprise to see it. But I suppose what I'm saying is I don't know, what would it be called? More fear of the unknown, I guess. Like, the mist is weird, tutorial lady's weird, all the stuff that was happening on the cliff was weird. I don't know, just to sum up, basically, I was kind of surprised looking back how the wolf didn't really creep me out, but all the stuff that led up to it kind of did, So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else had a similar reaction or not. In any case, I think I summed up pretty much everything that happened. We weren't able to finish repairing our bike, unfortunately. We did hear a poor woman. She seems to have fallen victim to this wolf. It looks like we might be time skipping to the morning here, so I guess we'll see the aftermath rather than the actual event. I guess we'll get it explained, because Haruaki just kind of walked in there. I don't know if the wolf saw us or not. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, the wolf, did it have 3 eyes? I think it had 3 eyes. Yeah, and we all had to stay locked up. Haruaki did not stay locked up. Lots to think about. Yes, okay. I think we're just going to get going rather than continue trying to speculate. We're going to need to see the aftermath. My guess on who the woman was is I think it was reporter lady. It sounded like an older... I don't mean old woman, but an older woman. Or it could be Kaori. So I guess... Is it Kaori? Oh, dang it. Kauri, something like that. Oribe, Kauri Oribe, or the reporter who is named Hisako Mamiya. Mamiya or Mamiya? I want to say Mamiya, I think. I'm going to guess it's a reporter, but we'll see. Let's keep going. The next morning. In a paddy field in Fujiyoshi, Yasumizu, 3rd block, someone discovered a thoroughly mangled corpse. That someone probably being us. The clothes nearby led the discoverers to conclude Wait, what? Led the discoverers to conclude that it was the traveler Haruaki Fusaishi. Wait, what? Huh. Hang on, what? What's going on here? I'm kind of confused. Strangely enough, I could perceive this particular moment. And so I was finished off by the girl. Last thing I heard was that. Raising Loop unveiled a rival. What in tarnation? Obtained key number 2, Werewolf and Resurrection. You can view it in the keys list. The route unlocked by this key is represented by the same number on the scenario chart. What in the world is going on here? Game over. Bad ending number 2? What? So I guess we didn't we didn't escape. Now hold on a second. This sounded like Takumi. It's Takumi, right? This sounded like Tai. This sounded like Chiemi. This was Tutorial Lady. And this was Kanzo, I think. This almost sounds like these series of comments. It makes me feel like it's almost something where we became the werewolf or something like that. That's what it sounded like. Yeah, how we got 2 before one, but we got 2 before 1. But we couldn't make any decisions, right? We could only make. The only time there was more than one choice we could do was when we were staying the night at Chiemi's. Could that lead to another key? Because otherwise, it's strange that we got 2 first, right? Okay, we got Werewolf and Resurrection. Mist appeared in Yasumizu Fujiyoshi. The residents were oddly afraid of it, and after ignoring Chiemi's warning, I was killed by a wolf-faced human lurking in the mist. But what's even stranger is I should be dead, yet here I am, racking my brain over these mysteries. What in the world is happening? That's my question. That is in fact my question here. Okay. Watch Hint Corner. I don't know what Hint Corner is. No. I'm going to say no to that. Oh, there's a sheep. Sunday. Oh my goodness. Okay. Back at the start again. I guess this is the titular loop. Hang on. So I just saw a sheep. At the beginning of the game, there was tutorial lady, and didn't she say something like "be on the lookout for a sheep"? Hang on, no, I actually wrote this down. Hang on. It was something like, yeah, I wrote it down exactly. It was weird. It was like 4 infiltration Q entering the village stop point. I know there's a point in the game I'm supposed to stop. This feels very early, though. I feel like this is not the moment to... If someone has played this game and knows if that was where I was supposed to stop, please tell me. But it feels very early on if that's the case. That's very strange if that's the case. I'm just gonna keep going for the regular length. But if it yeah, that feels too early though. That feels too early to be able to be where you stop. Interesting. Okay, so I know that in another game I'm playing right now, 999, if you skip, it'll stop when you get to new dialogue. Is that an option I have here? I think that's this option here. The skip pre-read only. Or pre-read, I guess it should be. So I'm going to assume, until told otherwise, that I can just skip this and be fine. Right? Let's skip that. Wow, this is very fast. My goodness, this is extremely fast. Wow, okay. Well, since we're here, why not try something else? Okay, we did this time the wholesome answer. Let's go opposite. Let's get on our case a bit. Oh, I'm just right, huh?
まるでエッジ漫画のような展開。正解おめでとう。さあ、かかってこい。
Woohoo. Yeah, so yeah, see how it's not it's grayed out, so yeah, I can't skip. So on new dialogue. That's good to know. All right. Good to know.
だが待ってほしい。迷った先で好都合な展開というのは物語上明らかに後々ガクッと落とすための前振りである。
あ、確かに。狐に化かされたとか、亡霊、つまり私にたたり殺されたりとか、シャレにならない病気移されたりとか。
Or it could be all at once.
そうそう。
テレレレレ、テレレレレ、テレレレレってテレレレレ。さあ、世にも奇妙な扉を開こうぜ。
やめとく。
Anyway, this girl was actually pretty sharp. She really had a way with words. and knew how to capitalize on it. It almost felt like she was implying I couldn't let my guard down just because I was a guy. I admitted she was pretty damn attractive, but I felt like I'd have more fun talking about loot stuff than acting on it. Hey. Monday, lunes. And then we can skip again, right? Oh, there was tutorial lady. This is so incredibly fast on the skipping. Is this normally how fast the skip is? My goodness. Oh yeah, I should mention... I forgot to mention this at first. Haruaki gave his own theory about what was going on during the whole night, the whole mist section. And it was this whole thing about zombies and locking yourself in, and so as a zombie you wouldn't be able to get... You know, it was very... I don't know. Just trying to... He's just trying to think of something. I don't know, it was... Obviously I don't think he's correct. It was just interesting that he was trying to make a theory himself at the time. I don't know, I guess I still have to think about it more. So presumably the key that we got is probably for when we're in the... Ooh, here we go. I think it's probably for when we're at the outhouse. So that we'll... So, okay, here's a question. When asking how much supernatural stuff is in here... Well, I guess here's the question. What's the loop? What's the raging loop here? Are we actually returning to the past? Like after the bad end? Or... is it a premonition? Like here, let's just go to the choice. Also, here's a question. Do you need all four to know this, or just one of them? I'm guessing it's all four. Let's keep going. Oh goodness, look at this. They even show that. Okay, okay, so let me give this little spiel. So here we have the key, so we can keep still. Presumably, this is because we have this key. And in this key, it's giving his thoughts. I should be dead, yet here I am, racking my brain over these mysteries. So presumably, this if we choose this indicates thoughts that he's having, correct? So here's the question. Did we actually die and yet somehow are returned to the past? Or is it something like, did we receive a premonition, like a potential future? Did we play out a potential future that could happen, and now he's received that premonition and is acting upon it? You know, I don't know the rules of this world as of yet. I know this was really a big thing in some of the past visual novels I've played, like just in particular, Higurashi and Umineko. You know, a big part of those two games is sort of figuring out, you know, what's actually going on, what are the rules, all that sort of stuff. And so I'm kind of glad to be back in that sort of mode of thinking where I'm saying, okay, so what are the rules? What is actually happening here? You know, because I mean, I need to know the nature of the loop, because that's going to be pretty important, I feel. We also had mention of a feast too. My goodness, my thoughts are just all over the place. Tutorial lady. She talked about the feast a bunch. What feast? There's a cliff. The village used to throw people off the cliff. There's a werewolf. There's mist. There's a feast. What's going on here? Okay. Let's see here. Let's, I guess we'll just keep still. I guess, let's see. I'm gonna be curious to see if he actually comments on the last playthrough. Let's see. What was that? Okay. It sounded like someone's life was in danger. It meant something dangerous. Okay, this is about the scream he heard. It meant something dangerous was nearby. Wait, I couldn't be rash. The world didn't have many things that logic couldn't explain, like the existence of murderers. But until I saw the source of the scream myself, it was nothing but a source of fear.
今から人はここに入って鍵をかけて絶対に物音一つ立てないで。
I reached to open the door, but something stayed my hand. It was my promised chamois, okay. But that scream just now was very real. It wasn't normal. I had to assume the situation was dangerous, and maybe I could help if I went out. But that meant endangering myself. I was no saint, and I had no plans to rectify that. If there was something that could get me to walk out, it would be curiosity. This is something he's brought up several times now. My curiosity had won over many dangers thus far, but right now, it was weaker than my fear and risk of death. Why? Because I already knew. Ooh, is this it? Ooh-hoo-hoo. Okay, they're not gonna keep it vague. Well, I'm sure they're gonna keep it, the overall thing vague, like the structure of how this works. But they're addressing the fact that, no, they're not even addressing it. They're just bringing up the memories. Yes, this is it. Shit, what the hell are these memories? Oh, okay. It wasn't a premonition, a dream, or anything else that vague. My brain recognized it as something I'd experienced. But how? After all, I was still alive, and the time from those memories had yet to come. Was I a precog or something? By God, I swore I'd never experienced anything like this before coming here. And why did the memory come back to me at this particular moment? Regardless, that overwhelming fear and the pain and death that followed were exactly what waited for me if I opened the door. I couldn't feel more certain of that. The thoughts rendered me unable to move. Immobile. I stood still, completely certain that I'd lost my chance to leave. I wasn't childish enough to sneer at selfish decisions, but this still didn't feel good. Not to mention I was upset at myself for not being able to act like me and just run out simply because I was curious. I didn't even feel saved until that moment. Suddenly, the door began to shake. This place had a handle on the outside, and someone was pulling on it hard. There was a lock, sure, but there was only so much it could take before it broke. I was prepared to pull on it from the inside, but
今から人はここに入って鍵をかけて絶対に物音一つ立てないで。
don't make a sound. What would happen if I did? Whatever was outside would instantly know I was here. Even if I protected the door, the thing had lots of other ways of hurting me. But what if it didn't know about me and was just weirded out by this randomly locked toilet? What if I didn't show a hint of fear to what it was doing? Would it just leave? I chose to wait and see. Once again, someone pulled the door, shaking the structure as a whole. I gulped down a scream and focused on the lock. If it broke, it'd be over for me. Over, as in, I'd be dead. That was what the memory told me. I was powerless back then, and even more so now. Assuming I tried to fight back, what would work? I'd heard that teeth were the hardest part of the human body, so maybe I could bite? Yeah, I'd tear whatever it was apart with my teeth. I'd bite it to death. I gathered my wits in killing intent. Grinding my teeth, I glared at the door. How long had it been? The sound suddenly stopped. For all I knew, it might have been a ploy to make me drop my guard. I'd slowly count to 500. If nothing happened in that time, I'd assume it went away. There were no screams or attacks after that. But the silence around me improved my perception, and I heard strange noises every now and then. Breathing, growling, claws on the ground. Basically, I felt a beastly presence. So, that thing actually existed here. Was it what the mists brought here from Saranaga? The wolf is coming. Did they all know about this? Shit. I couldn't learn anything in a place like this, and not knowing things scared me. Trusting my prescience or déjà vu or whatever it was, I chose to just stay quiet and wait. I'd find out everything tomorrow. I just had to make it through the night and then talk to Chammy. And if it was something I couldn't solve, I'd just run away. Thankfully, my bike repairs were going well, but I'd be leaving even if it didn't work. I'd walk to Kami Fujiyoshi if I had to. Unlike Yasumizu, they might have had some means of transport. For now, I just had to stay awake and make it through the night. Ooh, and it looks like we did. Whew. Okay. Let's take a drink real quick. Ooh, okay. I never liked seeing night gradually turn brighter as the morning arrives. It always made me feel like shit. Like I'd just done something harmful, both for my body and as a human being in general. I found it natural to spend the night asleep and welcome the morning well rested with a smile. I'd never expected to feel so much gratitude for the morning light leaking through the door of the outhouse. It felt like the beasts had been out and about the whole night. Interesting that it says beasts plural. That's interesting. Naturally, the high humidity here had made my clothes all wet and sticky. It was unpleasant, but even trying to move them and make it more comfortable for myself felt like a matter of life and death. Maybe it was a good thing I couldn't relax, but hell, it was exhausting in more ways than one. When I heard Chammy shout Haruaki-san in the distance, I was so overcome with relief, I almost fell to my knees. If this turned out to be a trick, and I opened the door to see some wolf with a chewed collar in its mouth lunging for my throat, I'd just give up and let it have me at this point. With that in mind, I opened the door. I expected to see the same picturesque village I had seen yesterday, so what I actually saw shocked me pretty hard. What the hell was up with this thick mist? I couldn't see shit. It's like the entire area was consumed by it. Did someone line every inch of this place with dry ice or something?
Haruaki-san!
I could hear Chiemi, but not see her.
ちえみちゃんこっちだ
Haruaki-san! よかった
Heard a wet sound and finally saw a silhouette in the mist.
大丈夫
田にはまった
I walked up and saw exactly what I expected. A girl struggling to free one of her legs stuck deep in a paddy field.
そうか頑張れ
助けてって
抜けないのねじゃあ手をよっと
One thing I'm curious about, in that weird sort of, I don't even know what it would be, after action report of the first, the bad end we got. It said something like they found a corpse out in the paddy field and the clothes indicated it was Haruaki Fusaishi. But it made no mention. I don't even know what that was. It sounded like it was going to be a news report or something. But whatever it was, it didn't even mention the woman we heard screaming. So what even was that then?
Wah!
I tugged her hand and braced my legs. That was enough to help her, but she lost her balance and...
おっとセーフ。
ヘッドロック。これ技決まってる。
Despite how close we were now, this wasn't the least bit romantic.
とにかくよかった。無事だったんだ。
Yes, we stayed in the outhouse all night. We definitely didn't die in an alternate reality and then return here. That is definitely not the case, Chemi. We followed your orders to the letter. I definitely remembered a time where I was far from all right, though.
ああ、なんとかね。
I had no idea what that was all about, so I didn't see any reason to mention it. Really? Maybe not at first, but I feel like at some point I would ask about it.
ただ、夜中獣みたいな気配がした。
Chemi's expression immediately darkened. She clearly knew what I was referring to.
聞きたいことはたくさんあるけど、まず昨晩聞いた悲鳴のことが気になる。
それは。
え、知ってるの？
She fell silent, clearly uncomfortable. It was pretty ominous.
来て。どうせいつか嫌でも見る。
Chemi gave me her hand. I took it, but I didn't feel the least bit excited about this. She led me down the path to the school dorm.
あ、房石さん、無事だったんですね。
生還おめでとう、ベンジョマン。
Hey.
ありがとう、温かい布団マン。君たちも無事。いや、はるちゃんは？
Did she?
いえ、大丈夫です。まだ部屋なんですが、ちょっとショックが強かったみたいで。
Okay, are
身
we
支度
gonna...
に時間が。
I guess we're good. I was about to say, are we gonna get an explanation? I guess we're being taken by Chemi to see what actually happened. So.
そうか。皆さん僕より先に動いてたみたいだな。
逆によく耐えれたな。寝てたの？
寝られるか。いつ出ていいかわからないからずっと起きて待ってたよ。ちえみちゃんに呼ばれてようやく。
You must be exhausted.
え？起きてたんですか？
Dude, he was in... Yeah. Yasunaga-kun made it sound like that was weird. How is that weird? There's the mist, there's the beasts outside, there's Chemi who was acting all serious. There was the fact that he was standing in an outhouse. I mean, yeah, he stayed awake.
いや、あのトイレで寝てごらん。横になるどころか座れもしないぜ。
Yeah.
いや、そうじゃなく、そうか。
I really hate it when people just trail off like that. It makes me way too curious. Okay, I think I understand. One of Haruaki's defining character traits is curiosity. I get it.
ちなみに君たちはなぜここに？
はるちゃん待ちと見張りだよ。
Look out for what? Look out.
状況がはっきりするまで現場に誰も近づかないようにね。
The scene, huh? Scene? So someone actually...
見る？ベンジョマンの胃袋の強度試し。
Well, I'm glad Mochi can keep his head on his shoulders, I guess.
もっち、あんまふざけるなよ。
ああ、見るよ。
The invisible unknown were way scarier than anything else. True that. Okay, so I don't know how gory this may get, but I guess we're about to find out. Not to mention I could already smell something foul. I lightly moved them aside and walked up to the so-called scene. Okay, so not it's vague enough, but you can clearly make out some stuff here. Yeah. There was a corpse. It was in such a horrible state that it was hard to recognize it as human. I imagined this is what you would have gotten if you'd overturned a butcher's cart. That was how thoroughly the victim was disassembled. Also, the butcher would have had to deal in entrails. Enough of that comparison. Straining my eyes to look through the thick mist, I could actually make out some human parts within that vast sea of blood, or mountain of death. Hands, torn clothing, hair, and a shoulder bag. How professional. She kept hold of her interviewing tools, even while running for her life. Didn't do her odds of survival any favors, though. That's what it sounded like. Despite the body's state, it wasn't hard to tell that the victim was Hisako Mamiya, the small-time food journalist. That thing. Did it come to me once it was done murdering her?
これはひどい。
大丈夫？吐き気とか。
Chemi was standing a short distance away, looking at nothing in particular.
吐くものもないし、まあ慣れてるんで。
What? Haruaki? You're used to this? What do you mean by this?
春明さん、そっち系の学部だっけ？
Yeah, what?
まあ一応医学系。
え、すごい。検視とかできる？
Did he say he was studying to be a doctor or something? He might have said that actually.
医学系ってのは医学部以外の類似学部生が見え張って使う表現さ。まあ病理解剖なら何度か見たけど。
Okay, interesting. So student doctor, I guess? I crouched down and put my hands together. Then, grimacing at the harrowing reek of blood, innards, and especially digested food, I brought my face closer. Perhaps I could learn something from this? I could, even if it wasn't much. This corpse wasn't split into pieces. The limbs were still connected, but they were folded in an unnatural way and looked really flattened. They were either crushed or bent, with no regard to bones or muscle position. Then, her whole body had been torn apart. The innards were particularly badly damaged. The words, wolfed down, felt like the best way to put it. I found it hard to describe. This wasn't my job, so there wasn't much I could tell about it without touching it.
何がどうなってるのかわからない程度には常軌を逸した傷だよね。
I had an urge to add that this seemed inhuman, but I kept myself from saying that.
とにかくとっとと警察を呼んでプロに任せよう。
Yeah, we should call them from the one phone in town. And you're all looking at me like that's crazy. I said something any good citizen would, but for some reason they didn't seem to agree.
春明さん、警察は来ないんだ。
And why is that?
そんなことはないでしょう。人が死んでるんだし。
来ないんだ。
じゃあ避難しよ
う。それも無理なんだ。
どうして？バイクもあるし、この人たちが乗ってきた車だって。とにかく不採取さんで生存者は全員見つかったはずだから、一度食堂に移動しましょう。
What, you're just gonna leave without explaining?
はるちゃんは僕らが連れてくぞ。そっちはお願い。春明さん、行こう。
Now, Haruaki, I'm gonna rely on your curiosity here. You need to get some answers, because what they just said is not sufficient. We need answers here.
なあ、ちゃんと説明してくれないか。
Thank you. You know, they kind of said it a bit more than I thought was necessary, but I do appreciate when the main character actually tries to, get the information. It's mostly for my benefit, Sometimes it may not always be the best thing to do for the character, but at least as a player, I can appreciate them when they try to get information.
悪いけど精神的に無理。自分で見て勝手に理解して。
Well, that's not helpful. Huh. It was the first time Chemi had acted so harsh with me. I was pretty irritated myself, but it must have been worse for them. They actually had info on what was happening here.
無神経だったよ。
Chemi said nothing more and just silently walked off. I followed after her. Okay, I'm thinking of calling it here. Yeah, that kind of feels like a natural sort of time to end it. Just because I'm curious, what does detailed chart actually look like? Huh. Okay. Oh, I see. Huh. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's write down some stuff, actually. Do I have... Let's put, doctor, maybe? Student doctor? For... No. For Haruaki. Question mark? And here we go. Hisako Mamiya found dead on first night. Okay. And then we had the whole memory stuff. And he was very specific when he said it was memories and not premonitions. Okay. Yeah, we'll call it here. Next time, we will hopefully get more of an explanation for what's going on here. But we've started the loop. We've gone through our first iteration, or whatever it is. Hopefully we'll start learning about that as well as, the actual death that has occurred here. In any case, hope you're all doing well, and hope to see you all next time. Goodbye.